Hey, welcome to this live stream. Thank you so much for joining. Hi to everyone who's watching it on the replay, but hi to everyone who's watching this live. Yeah, as usual, an impromptu live because I have so many creative things that I need to do, want to do. And I was like, why do them by myself when I can do them with you and we can chat at the same time? So, how is everyone? What are you doing? Are you creating as well? Are you working? Are you about to head off to bed like the a watercolorist? Let me know. It feels so odd to be live at a reasonable-ish time, like it's 8:40. It's not the middle of the night, like progress-ish. Um, but yeah, the options that I gave were basically for my to-do list. One is swatching out some new watercolors that I have got, and if that's also probably going to be a video. Ooh, sorry, let me make sure you can hear me. Hey, that's also probably going to be a video very soon anyway. But just in case you wanted a swatching video, we could do that. Other thing is paintings, and I've been trying to do more loose landscapes watercolors, so we could do that. Um, the other thing is make paints because I need to make some paints for a Kofi member, uh, and I left it till like the very last minute, so that's an option. But yeah, I'm curious to know what everyone is doing, what you guys would like to see. Thank you so much. Yeah, I thank you, Miss Ebony. Hey Sharma, hey Tara, Terry, Dark Roast, a watercolorist. It's always so nice to see like familiar faces, you know? Ready for bed. Yeah, I'm not at the point yet where I could say I'd go to bed this early, but yeah, January was like a trial run for my goals. The only resolution or goal that I set that I actually managed to stick to was no Instagram. And I think I only went like the first 5 days automatically I would click Instagram without thinking about it. So then I got rid of the app from my phone. So I didn't delete the app, but I just got rid of it from, the main bar where I would normally have. So once I did that, it just meant that if I wanted to open Instagram, I had to be a bit more intentional about it. And I only did that, I think, once when there was some issue with Etcher, and that was the quickest way to contact them. But otherwise, I managed to like stay off it. And, the world didn't stop. Uh, there were a couple of collaborations that they were like, hey, what's going on? What's going on? But thankfully, one of them saw my email address and the other one, like, I've just replied to. So I think that basically I can afford to exercise some self-control when it comes to Instagram and just not use it as much. Hey, good evening, Ali. Good. So I did two polls trying to figure out what we should do. One poll on the community tab and then the other poll in this chat. And the reason that I did it in this chat is because you're the people who are actually here watching. It would be worth. Okay. Landscape painting seems to be winning by a landslide, which is fine. So I'll do the landscape painting and then I guess I can make paints um, afterwards, which is cool. So Alex says I need to exercise some Instagram control too. Been on social media way too much lately. Honestly, like I was just on it a ridiculous amount. And I think it's also just my issue with it wasn't so much so like being on social media, although that's part of it, and like, comparison and all that jazz. But it was also the fact that when I was on there, it's not like I was relaxing. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like I was like, oh, I'm having such a wonderful, relaxing time as I'm scrolling through Instagram, upside down. No, it was just that I was like spending time there and like wasting time. And then basically, an hour would have gone by. I would have been scrolling. I wouldn't have like relaxed or, say it's not the same as like painting or doing something like that. It's not nourishing for me. And yet at the same time, it's not productive. So I was like, what am I doing? And in the past, is the lighting okay? I feel like is it quite dark on the screen for you, or is it just my computer? Let me see. Don't know if it's I mean, this is the usual setup, but I don't know why it looks dark to me. Hey, Pre-Raphaelite. Hey, Ali. Yeah, so I don't know. Like, to be fair, I wanted to make watercolors. That being said, I can imagine that just watching me do that for an hour may not be the most stimulating of things. So I'm happy to just do the live, to just do some painting, which I wanted to do anyway, and then I can um, I can make paints later. That's why I have this chopping board. So this chopping board is where I make my paints, and the one underneath is the one that I use on top of my desk to keep it somewhat neat, but also I just wanted a slightly different background. Lighting is fine. Okay, cool. So lighting is fine and audio is fine as long as I remember to actually put the mic near my mouth. Thank you so much. I normally my mom does my hair, but I haven't had time to go and see her, so this is like me having done nothing to my hair, basically. Like literally nothing. My hair's a survivor. Like that's how I see it. It endures all weathers and all treatments. Thankfully, because my mum then takes care of it the rest of the time. Can I also give like a special shout out to two people? More shout outs will probably come to me as we go on, but one being Miss Ebony, who got me this tape and sent it to me. I don't even know how, on Monday. So now I have a year's worth of this tape. And yeah, that was like a really wonderful surprise. So thank you so much, Miss Ebony. And then also, Terry very kindly sent me some money for a Caddy Fat book, which Jackson seems to be struggling to deliver. However, that is on its way, and I am so excited about it because can you see? Like this is all that we have left in this sketchbook. Like we're almost there, very nearly there. Thank you so much. Uh, and Yanni, have I tried every art medium? No, I haven't tried oils. Um, Yeah, I haven't tried oils. I think I've tried acrylics. In fact, I started off with acrylics, I guess, really. There's a spot here. I don't know if to just abandon this page or maybe just roll with it. Maybe we'll just roll with it and see. Um, but yeah, so I started off with acrylics and then somehow delved into watercolor, no, acrylics, and then I started doing like inks in terms of like fine liner drawings, and I was drawing for quite a bit. And then from fine liner drawings, somehow I ended up in the world of watercolor, and watercolor then introduced me to gouache, and from there everything's kind of evolved a little bit more. But yeah, oil paints is the one thing that I haven't tried. In honesty, I feel like I'm just a bit intimidated by the cleanup process and also like the patience and all of that. I don't know if I would have it in me to do it. Like I see the pieces that people create and I'm like, wow. But as much as I love watercolor, even that sometimes I'm like, oh, the waiting for the drying and whatnot. I feel rather impatient about it. So I don't know, but I will probably try it because why not? One day. And then what else? I've tried like fluid art. I did that for a while in 2020 in terms of like fluid acrylics and creating abstracts that way. Um, but yeah, watercolor wash has my heart. Uh, so I can't really complain. How do I say your name? Hone? Hone? Let me know. But I feel the same way. I'm literally like I don't know if I would do much of the cleanup and how I would do it and whatnot. So you know. How's everyone else's like New Year's resolutions going? Have you stuck to them? No, I like acrylics. Oh, well, I don't know, I feel like I should love acrylics and I don't love them as much, and I don't know why. Because in theory, like, you have control of them, and I like having control, but then watercolor and gouache are my favorite mediums. So it's a little bit of an odd one, or maybe I just don't like working on canvases, like, I prefer sketchbook. Oh, thank you. I'm not gonna lie, I should actually plug my mum. So my mum does make, like, hair products as well. She's like she does everything, which is amazing. Thank you so much. I feel so bad. So I might as well plug her because we're all friends. So she is the Vine Roots. So if you Google that, then you will find her. And she does my hair. She makes hair care products. She's also doing a masterclass next week on how to take care of your hair, which God knows I need, because I'm so reliant on her taking care of my hair that it's like I don't need to do anything. Oh no! Can you hear me? Hopefully you can still hear me. Oh my gosh. Hey, I'm back. Oh wait, maybe you can't hear me. Now you can hear me? Sorry about that. So it turns out that one of the buttons on my mouse takes me out of live streaming, which I just learned the hard way. So it is what it is. But yeah, let's just do some landscapes. Where am I? It's funny because I've been trying to use my imagination more when doing landscapes. Like, these are the ones that I did a little while ago. When? 21st. Oh my gosh. It was like almost 2 weeks ago. But yes, I've been trying to use my imagination a little bit more in creating landscapes. Oh, I'm echoing. Shouldn't be. Is it better now? Let me know if it comes back. After all this kind of live streaming, things still go wrong. Yeah, can't hear it anymore. Okay, good. No, I haven't tried water soluble. What should we do? Let's wet the whole page first. I haven't tried water soluble oils. I have them, to be fair. I almost feel like, today is a prime example. I feel like I have so many things that I want to do, that I want to try, but then time is always the limiting factor. Um, yeah, that's basically it. Time and energy and just being well enough to do everything always seem to be the limiting factors. So I haven't tried. There's a whole bunch of stuff in my to-do or to try list. Have I tried oil pastels? I have tried oil pastels, but I didn't really like them that much. Um, why didn't I like them? Oh, well, it's not. I think I keep comparing everything to the ease of use that I have with watercolors. So I'm like, oh, oil pastels are messy. Uh, like, I don't like the. So I like the effect, and I like that you can blend them, and I like the way that they look. I just don't like the messiness of it. Soft pastels, I haven't tried as an adult, but as a child, as in, like, yeah, as a child, I guess, when I was in secondary school, maybe. Like, I remember the feel of the soft pastels, like, grates me right in my soul. So it's really not a medium that I am looking to try or experiment with because there are so many other mediums that don't make me feel like that. But Um, I did want to try soft pastels because I like the look of soft pastels. I just don't like the feel, you know? Water soluble oil water soluble oils don't seem that different. I hope not. That would be the ideal because then you don't have to use my understanding is you don't have to use like dissolvents. You can just use water to clean up everything. And that seems nice. I've just done a couple of skies. Oh, I saw the most maybe I should do more. I saw like a beautiful, beautiful sky earlier today that I have no idea how to replicate it. But maybe I'll try a little later. But it was sunset, so there were like pinks and blues and yellows and everything. And I feel like it's always such a skill to be able to um, depict sunsets. So let's do. I feel like I seem to lean towards creating a similar kind of thing. So I almost want to. I don't know. This might be end up being completely similar as well, but I just want to try different things and see how it goes. On each one. And the cute thing, this is like I've divided it the same way that I would if I was doing abstract grids, but the cute thing is that then you can try different things on each one and see what you end up liking because they are nice, quick, and hopefully easy adjacent. No, you didn't miss the whole thing. Thank you so much for joining the Mattia Pencil. We've literally just started. What is everyone else doing? Is anyone painting? How have your weeks been? How are you feeling? Have you been like creative? Oh, January always feels like a little bit of an odd time in that on one hand I feel super super like inspired, you know, like it's a new year, like new year, new me, and like I have like all these goals and things that I want to do. And then on the other hand, it's like, oh, but it's January and everything is dry. Not dry, everything is grey and I just want to stay home. Sorry, I need to mute myself next time I do that. My audio is going in and out. Oh, okay. How about that? My wire was ever so slightly loose, so hopefully now that I've pushed that in, it's better. And we have Derwood. So Derwood came up with or suggested this really great idea where we've basically been trying to recreate palettes. He asked if you had to make a palette of 12 colors that you call your winter palette, what would it contain? Like, what kind of colors give you the impression of winter? And I quite liked that because initially the colors that I thought of were literally just the colors that I use all the time. But then I tried to challenge myself to really think about winter. Uh, so one of the things on my to-do list is actually to swatch out some of the colors and then create that winter palette and maybe even make a video out of it. Initially, I thought, oh, it's too late to do it because winter is over. But then, you know, sometimes I have to remind myself winter is not just like Christmas. Turns out I'm a winter baby and my birthday is in March. And I didn't know that I was a winter baby up until last year. So there's still a bit of time. But yeah, it's just something that's nice because you can also just carry it through from season to season and like spring colors. I guess like Irigori did, although I don't really feel like the Irigori colors are what's the word? I don't really see like if I were to just look at the palettes, I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, that's clearly that's clearly summer, that's clearly winter, that's clearly spring. Like I don't see them like that. And I'm not sure why. And it's also interesting because it's not even like, you know, they created like if they created an entirely pastel set for spring, I would be like, oh yeah, okay, fine, it's not a cohesive palette, but it's a spring-based palette, so it makes sense. Whereas the colors that they picked aren't like a cohesive palette on their own. However, they're not like fully spring, but I guess everything is in the beauty of the it's in the eye of the beholder, so it's good to experiment and to see. Oh, Nicole, I hope that you're feeling better. Yeah, like honestly, I was completely shocked. Like, you know, when you're doing your own thing and then you look outside the window and it stops you in your tracks? It was one of those things because it just looked amazing. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Colleen. I hope that you get well soon. It's definitely been going around. My sound, so everything is wrong. Okay, let me try and go out and come back if all fails. When I come back, let me know if it works. Oh, also, which screen is blurry? Is it this one or is it this one? Face or art camera? Which one is blurry? Let me know when I come back and I'll try and reset everything. It's really weird. Both. Okay. Whoops. So let me know if that is any better sound wise or um, screen wise. And oh, as you do, I will try and get back in on my phone as well. Oh, yeah, perfect. Thank you. I feel so bad to ask, but yeah, if you don't mind hitting like on the video, then I would appreciate it. It's been really interesting. Like January, obviously, what goes up must come down, but like the views have really tanked this month, um, which hasn't been great. But then the way that I took it is like, okay, well, given that irrespective of how much, like, you know, given that irrespective of effort, or the views are the same, I might as well just, like, continue just focusing on making what I want. Like, okay, live streams don't tend to get as many views, but I enjoy them, and given that the views are low anyway, why not just do what you enjoy? So hopefully, uh okay, good. Hopefully we are winning. I just feel like my screen doesn't look clear like this one, but maybe is it 'cause oh, maybe it's 'cause I was hovering on it, so it was grayed out. Okay, my bad. Thank you, Jess. Thank you, everyone. So much. You're right. I do know that people go on hiatuses and everything, and I appreciate that. And also, I was like, you know what? Ultimately, it's less so about the views and more so about like I don't know how to interpret it. I always try to think like, okay, is it that it's not beneficial and thus I should make something else, or is it just literally that you know, like algorithm ebbs and flows kind of thing. So it's always trying to like balance it and figure out what exactly is going on. Because if it's literally that, what I'm making isn't resonating or isn't beneficial, then there are other things that I can make. Like I have so many things, so many ideas and things on my to-do list that I can course correct if need be. This is interesting because the watercolor is really just doing its own thing, uh, especially given that I just let it all dry unintentionally while we were sorting all of that out. It should be. The lenses are clean, so for me it looks clear. It was just that I was hovering over it, so it was grey. These two are looking very similar, which is a bit annoying, but what can you do? Maybe I'll just add more. Add a add some magenta to add some purple. Just make it slightly different to the one below. And then we'll see how that dries. And then with this, I don't know, I almost like I'm kind of liking how soft and gentle everything looks. So I may try to not do a massive amount on here and just wet my tissue. Just taking off some of that excess because I almost want like just have it look almost like a snowy scene. I have snow on the brain. We haven't had snow. Well, we had like literally a sprinkle of snow that looked like rain, and that was pretty much it. So I feel like all of them are so color heavy that I like the softness of this one. Thank you, Ali. Oh, you're just chilling and gonna have an early night. Honestly, like, so I have a lot of siblings, and I am the eldest. So I had the blessing, shall we say, of like looking after them and stuff. And I just remember like one time my youngest sibling, especially, has so much energy. It is unreal. And he was staying with me, and honestly, one day I just had to say like, look, we need to take a nap. And it's not like he was like 5 years, like he was a teenager. I was like, I'm sorry. I am sorry. I am so exhausted from all of this that we both need to take a nap. Like we're playing Sleeping Lions. I haven't got any more in me. Like, I am taking a nap and I don't care. If you want to stay awake, that's up to you. But me, myself, and I am going to sleep. I don't know why. This is so bizarre. And he thought that I was joking, but I promise you, I went to sleep. Because I was absolutely wrecked. But sometimes you just have to. And like I said, that was when he was older, so you can imagine when he was a child how much energy it took. But then, of course, I was also younger, so maybe I could keep up more. Like I don't know, but yeah, I'll never forget it because it was the middle of the afternoon, and I closed the windows and everything. I was like, I'm going to sleep. Like you drew the curtains. Terry, you're the same. Yeah, it's honestly just like a personality thing, like, your sister, my brother, just so much energy. It's unreal. I mean, it's a blessing, don't get me wrong, but my gosh, I can't keep up with it. I'm just doing assuming there's, like, somewhat of a tree line here, so that's why we're doing that. And then, like, this one, they are all so wet that we should probably start on the next quarter, on the next side, which initially I was gonna make a big piece, but actually I like just doing small ones. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking, Colleen, that they look like mini landscape studies, and I kind of like that. It also means that as they dry, we can work on something else. Um, and it almost makes me want to, like, I feel like I should make more efforts to go outside. I know one of my resolutions was to go out on a walk once a week, and have I done it? I think it's been like maybe 50%. So I've maybe gone on 2 walks this month that weren't directly linked to doing something like groceries or going to work or going to, that were actually just for the purpose of going for a walk. So I'm going to try to be more mindful of that in February, but February also looks so busy. So I'm trying to get this to be somewhat straight. Yeah, February looks so busy, but I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna be. That's so funny, Tony. Yeah, it's like that sometimes. Uh, oh, you're swatching out your colours in roughly colour order. Thank you for letting me know, Jess. If it changes, just let me know as it does, and I'll continue to try and wiggle the mic. I don't know if it's because I'm looking at the screen, so maybe when I'm looking away, it makes a bit of a difference, but usually it doesn't. So it's a bit odd that it's acting up so much. Also, one of the things that I like doing now is just having the paper at a little bit of an angle. So I've got an easel that I have been using, but obviously I find that for live streams with the angle and everything, it's a little bit off. But it's been quite nice and helpful when it comes to getting like gradients and having a little bit more control. And I don't know why, but I now find it a bit easier to do landscapes with a bit of a tilt. My florals still I do the same way, completely flat on the table. It's so weird that there are some things that I like for some things and other things I like for others. For example, like I like gouache for landscapes, but I don't like gouache for florals and vice versa for watercolor. Ooh, my neck is playing. I also tomorrow we are having or maybe we'll do fields, like more fields in this one. Tomorrow we are going to have a Kofi email Zoom session. Just FYI reminder. And also I will that is really lovely. I will probably also send out the happy mail tomorrow. I think so. One of the reasons I was kind of pushing it off is because I wanted to mix some paint. But I think what I will do is send out the actual happy mail, and then the paints that I was going to send out to someone else, I'll just send it later. Because otherwise, I'm sure it'll take me a while. So let's do some fields here and see how that goes. Then do tiny bit of blue. That's the thing. Sky blue is still a phthalo blue, so tiny bit is relative. No, that's okay, Terry. The replay will be up anyway, all things going well. So if you would like to catch up, you can. Yeah, that's a very good point, Annie. Like having easels is probably better for your back and your neck and just your whole posture. It makes sense because rather than like hunching over, like I am, rather than hunching over your desk, you kind of have it at a bit more of an angle. And let's see what else. Let's do some more fields. Yeah, well, with Hooker's green. Maybe with yellow towards the bottom. It's just odd because as I'm doing these, I don't know, I guess it would be helpful when doing this to try and actually visualize a landscape and then paint it. Does that make sense? But what I am doing is not that. I am assuming like, okay, roughly ground, sky, put down the colors that match that to some sort of degree, and then see what shapes emerge. And then once everything is dry, add either an extra layer or add something that complements the shapes that have kind of already formed on their own because of the colors that I've put. So I feel like the biggest decision I'm making is really what color am I putting down and where am I putting it down? And everything else is kind of like, well, okay. But perhaps what I will try to do is also one, go out in nature so that I can see nature myself, but two, also just look at references so that I can build that bank of imagination. Hey, I don't know, DK Stambros. Yeah, thank you. Hooker's Green. I love the Romational Hooker's Green, and I feel like it's such a good example of why sometimes you should ignore what brands call things because I feel like to me it's definitely a like sap green-esque color. That's how I see it. Whereas the sap green is so bright. It also just reminds you that things are different from brand to brand. Are we try? I wonder. Okay, we can have this still wet. Try some, just adding some more water, and let's try mixing the two. So we'll have a nice sky blue, and then add some here as well. I feel like I'm doing. Maybe make it go more to this side. Just adding some more blue at the bottom and seeing if I can create a lake that has some nice grass by it. At least just putting the colors down in a different way. So again, that's some more Hooker's green. And Putting some heavy green here as well. Whoops. That's Hooker's green, and I accidentally included some sea blue, but then I didn't take it off because I was kind of curious to see what would happen. Um, Going back to my handy dandy bit of tissue, and it is just because I am working on the water control. Like I have saturated this page in so much water. And I also find, because you'll notice I'm doing it also on the sky, that it kind of gives me some nice soft edges so that the clouds look really nice. Hey, Sonia. Oh, hey, everybody. Okay. That's fine. That's fine, DK. I understand. My email address that I like had used for years and years and years, I've literally made it the same age, and I only just got rid of it in like last year. I didn't say much about like that whole issue, but we can do a story time if you like about my identity getting stolen. Oh gosh. I haven't like spoken about it because it isn't like fully resolved as of yet. Oh, let's add some more Quinn gold here. Yeah, so there's that. The other part of me kind of contemplated talking about, the issues that we saw on Watercolour Land, but then I found that quite a few that it feels to be quite an emotive topic even for subscribers. So even my own subscribers were getting upset or, yeah, basically my own subscribers were getting upset. So I was like, well, perhaps it's just better that we avoid talking about it. How's working in layers coming along? Good question. So it's been a learning curve. So with my florals, I worked in layers. They just weren't as many. Or also maybe it was just different, actually. It felt different because maybe I just didn't know I was doing it. But yeah, working in layers is fine. I found that when working in layers in my landscapes, one of the main interesting things is just that things will dry a lot lighter than I think. And it's just trying to remember that and thus not be scared when I lay down like a thick, dark amount of color. Yeah. So uh, looks like the store's closing. Every day around this time, someone drags a crate along, just making lots of noise. Is this okay? These are all still wet to show you how much water I've put down. So what should we do? I wanted to lower the horizon for this one, which is why I've put in more sky. Oh wait, I was supposed to do a sunset one, wasn't I? Whoops. Can I do it on this one? Let's see. Lifted. So I'm trying to think that the most striking color that I was seeing was like pinks and purples, and there were, yes, elements of oranges as well, but I don't know. It was just spectacular. So I'm just putting the colors down. Let's add some water. Trying not to make green, not to make gray. relatively. I have a sketchbook tour coming out soon, and it just reminds me there's like a spectacular, like truly spectacular sunset that I saw over the sea a few years ago, and I was trying to capture that in the painting, and I couldn't. But it almost like it really motivated me to paint more because I was like, well, I couldn't like the cameras couldn't get all the colors in. I couldn't take all the colors in, but I was like, I'm pretty sure that if I were to continue practicing at some point, I would be able to. This isn't as Queen Magenta is almost finished, which is why there we go, which is why the color wasn't really coming through. Oh, that's such an interesting question, Pre-Raphaelite. In your old video with landscapes, it seems like it was all wet on dry, but now it seems that you're doing wet on wet. Which video? Are you talking about the live stream with the paintings that you have? Because I found that my initial approach was to do similar. I was just not using as much water. So it was always to use wet on wet first, and then go back and use wet on dry to add more details and whatnot. But I was using a lot less water and thus had a lot more control as to where my brush strokes were going. So I guess now, yeah, I don't know why I'm adding more, why I'm feeling more comfortable with adding more water now. I guess I just changed. I feel like I always change. If you look at, even with my floral, sometimes when I look back, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's changed so much. And I wonder, like, will I go back? Will I want to do things that way again or not? But I guess you just have to embrace the change. I also wonder, like, you know, a lot of people want to develop a style that they're recognized for, and but I don't have one that I can see, and I don't want one per se. I kind of want to leave this as is and then almost have like this be snow rather than bring in the green. I don't want the green to compete with the sky, basically. So I'm gonna mute myself. Oh, actually, I'm curious. Let me know. Can you hear the? Let me step up some of this water. Oops. Can you hear the blow dryer? Because I was watching someone's live stream, and because of the noise the blow dryer makes, it wasn't getting picked up at all, which I didn't know was a thing. But now I'm curious to know if my mic and my setup will do the same thing. So tell me, can you hear this? Yes, no, maybe so. Oh, yeah, you can hear it. Okay, fine. I'll mute myself. So if I talk and I have this in the background, can you hear me? Because for me, it's really, really loud. But if it's just softly for you, then I don't mind not muting myself and just continuing to talk. Oh, oh, that's so cool. I had no idea. All this time I've been muting myself and being silent. Ah, still echoing. I'm so sorry. I don't know why um everything is going. You can hear me better with the heat gone on. Problem. Hello? I'm just trying to see. I have hello. I have headphones on. Just to see, because that should be taking the sound from the second camera. When I'm muted, you can still hear. Speaker. I'm just trying to change the settings. Looking up, sometimes if it seems out of focus, you can hit the gear button and change the resolution, change the quality. Yeah, I can try and turn off the headset and turn it back on. In theory, that's worse. Why is this so loud? Okay. Nope, still echoing. Any better? Yeah, the headset does have a mic, but it's muted. So I've thrown the headset across. Okay, yes, we have a yes. I am so sorry. Thank you so much for your patience. I've thrown away the mic across the room, but it's still on, so it should be able to prevent any feedback. I am using the data from my phone to keep going with this live stream, so hopefully the blurry images are all gone. And my phone mic is now off. Well, it was off, but now it's doubly off. It's off and it's muted. So it should all be good. If that changes, please let me know. I'm so sorry. It's honestly been a the beauty of live streams, the pros and cons, right? Like, but yes, perfect. Okay, cool. So what is everyone else doing? And what do you have planned for February art-wise? Let me know. So we have these beautiful little mini landscapes. So this one, I just wanted to have it be kind of wonder. Let me try this. Okay, so the blurry issues. No, that's good. Sorry about that. Thank you so much for persevering. You're really, really kind. We should so if anyone's watching at this point, if you're watching it on the replay, then in the main comments when that's up, leave the word echo so that we know that went that we survived the echo. Oh, you're planning on doing more plein air painting if the weather is okay. That sounds wonderful, Terry. And in honesty, I would love to do the same. Um, there are some parks nearby that I haven't even like gone to really, um, which is a shame. But I would really, I'm trying to use the dagger brush just out of curiosity to see what happens, just to lose even more control. The little control I had, I have now completely lost, but it's okay. But yeah, honestly, painting outdoors can be so wonderful. The video, what video? The video that I is coming up tomorrow, not tomorrow, on Saturday, is about that, like tips for, well, I guess more so tips for painting while on holiday slash abroad, but essentially tips for painting um when outside of the house. You love the dagger brush. That's the thing. I love the dagger. I love the dagger brush for florals. I haven't used them for landscapes before now. So far, so good. And we shall see. Live streams are always so interesting because I feel like I have no idea what the results will be. Like, it's not a tutorial. I have no guarantee. It's not something that I have painted before. And then to make it even more, on edge, because why not? I then also experiment, but I like it. I like experimenting together and, drawing from you as well. Then let me make sure. Rachel. Yeah, I love the dagger brush too, especially for florals. Baby steps with the landscapes. Oh yeah, the prompts on Emily Chadwick's calendar. I was so tempted to get that calendar, but I don't use calendars often. And I just keep thinking I'm going to move very soon, and how am I going to pack up everything? So I started looking at everything through those lens. But that's definitely something that I think I'll get next year. I know. I am honestly so close to like so many beautiful places. Like I've never painted in Hyde Park, and that's crazy. Like it's not too far. I think it's like an hour away, an hour and a half. Um, Even like so many places in Surrey and stuff. I just think it's so easy to uh I don't know. I feel like in my head I start thinking like, oh, it's too far. How will I get there? It's too complicated. It's too convoluted. It's too this. It's too that. But actually, I just need to grab my paint kit and walk out of the house and just go. And it's funny because I will procrastinate it and not do it for ages. And then all of a sudden, I'll get in the mood to do it. And I'll want to do it right there and then. Like, I'm free. I'm going now. All plans be damned. But I'm definitely, I'm still planning on doing those 12 art trips. So I want to start going to some museums. I want to go to some parks, especially like you said, Terry, as the weather is getting nicer. Oh, that is so cute, DK. You're creating an artsy gift box for your friend for Valentine's Day. So it's going to have art supplies, art prints from favorite artists, candy, cute letter. That is so nice. That is so sweet and considerate. And February plan for Sonia, using your pinks more. I think that's a very good idea. You're going to work on landscape impression fill. It's funny you say that. One of the book flip through for Kofi is going to be a book called Impressionist. It's one of 2 books. Basically, I got 3 books all around the Impressionists, and I flipped through one of them this month just to again look, because I was like, I don't even know what Impressionism is, and sometimes people would say that I would either like their art or my art reminds them of, like, the Impressionist movement, and I'm like, I have no idea what that means, and I feel like now that I've looked through the books, I have a bit of a better a better understanding as to what they were saying and what they meant. What did I miss by, Melanie? If I miss something, then please just feel free to copy, paste it, and repost it. Um, I don't mean to miss messages. It's just the nature of trying to multitask. Oh, I didn't know that there was a woman in watercolor competition. Did I know? No, I didn't know that. That's really cool. Good luck. Thank you, Pre-Raphaelite. I am trying to be more consistent. I do think that at some point, it even yeah, I do think, like, at some point, I don't know when, I will probably cut down on the videos. I don't know, because on one hand, I feel like I will cut down. On the other hand, I'm like, I have so many ideas and so many things that I want to do, but realistically, there's just too much, and I have too much on outside of YouTube that I actually need to attend to and do. So, in the sake of balance, it is going to have to calm down. Oh, thank you. I've got quite a few requests for location videos. It's so interesting because the videos that I think a lot of you may enjoy, such as the location videos, you know, um, the, I guess, coffee videos, the painting on location videos, the art vlogs, all of those videos, they don't do well on YouTube. So I don't know how to interpret that, because when I ask people what they want to see, that is what people request now. Even I think one of the polls that I did, I think it got even more requests than art hauls. However, when I then post them, they do, like, so much worse. So much worse than art hauls, than anything else. So then it's confusing, because then I'm like, well, does that mean that people don't want to see it? Because I don't think it's an algorithm thing. Like, I think a lot of the time people are like, oh, the algorithm. But I think ultimately the algorithm or YouTube or whatever is just trying to show people what they want to see. So if people see it and don't click on it, then it's like, cool, they don't want to see that. So yeah, that's why it's like bittersweet doing them, because they obviously take more effort and a higher tolerance for embarrassment of, recording myself. But then they don't get watched. So it's like, well, I don't know, but we'll see. I will try and do some, because also I don't know, I feel like when I see it, I can see that the people who watched it are the MVPs, the ride or dies. Like, I could tell. So if that's what you're enjoying, then even if it's not what everybody else wants to see, it's still worth doing. So just doing some more. Then this one, I think I'm going to do more like fields. So it's got some really nice granulation, but it's like really desaturated. So I want to bring some more hooker's green and bring some more color. Oh, that almost looks like a bridge. Does it? Yeah, it does. Maybe we should do a bridge there. It's green, but I can change that. So we can make that here a bridge. Oh my, done a bridge on what used to be fields and there's no water. So just put a little bit of blue here to make it make sense. And then just drag that across so that we get a nice blend. Just raise that all the way up. I still want it to be brighter in some places. So just going to add some more Hooker's green here. And also that's like perfectly straight, which is weird to see in nature. So I'll get rid of that. So we'll see how that dries and then I can come back wet on dry and add more details. Hey, the messy desk. Oh, Mia, you are currently knitting a scarf. And your goals for February are to continue painting more, which is awesome, work on watercolor florals, which you know I love, and you want to get an etcher sketchbook, which totally counts as an art goal. I agree. Which sketchbook are you thinking of getting? And also, kudos on knitting. I actually used to be the knitting of. I used to be. Gosh, I hope that doesn't make it go funny, but I used to be the president of a knitting society. And when I founded it, I couldn't actually knit, but I had founded it because I wanted to learn how to knit and I needed to bring knitters together. And thus I started it and learned how to knit. It was really a lot of fun. It was you know how like now I'm like, oh, social media. Back in the day, it used to be TV. So my thing was that I'd watch so much TV that I basically told myself that I can't um, watch TV unless I'm doing something constructive. So that's that was my out. Like I could watch TV if I was knitting, and boy, did I knit. I knit lots for myself, for my family, and then after I was like, okay, well, I've done so much knitting. Um, Nobody else I know really needs anything. So then I started knitting for charities and for like premature babies in the hospital and for children in like the pediatric wards who were again admitted to hospital. So still making it good kind of knitting. And then, once I graduated, I no longer had much time for hobbies or anything like that. So I stopped knitting, which is a shame. But then I started watercoloring, 2020 and whatnot. And I guess it's always good to have creative outlets. What other creative outlets do you guys have, like apart from art? And it's fine if you don't have any others because art is literally my only hobby as it stands. But if you do have any other hobbies, let me know. Mm. Thank you, DK. Yeah, it was actually my landscapes. That's why people would be like, oh, yeah, uh, you can see your impressionistic influence. And I'm like, my what? My who? Like, what is that? Um, so it was actually good. That's why I got like a few of the books, and I was like, well, if I'm interested, perhaps others are interested too. So every so often, I like to do book flip throughs of books that I'm either reading or want to look at, and then at least it means that we have like a digital record of popular books that we can look back on and use for inspiration. So this month, I'm trying to. So I think I had 3 books and I recorded 3 flip throughs. I don't know which one I'm gonna put up because essentially with one of them was the Van Gogh and that because I basically like chatting through the flip through. So I enjoyed chatting through the Van Gogh one. Um, the other one was like Impressionist as a whole, but it was a bit more of like it was a good book, but a bit more text, a bit more educational and whatnot. So that one there was a limited amount that I had to say, and then there was another one that I liked. So basically, the one that's mainly the impressionistic one, I didn't have that much to say because I don't feel that qualified to talk about art movements. But this is, trying to learn more about it and doing it together. So that is why I will be sharing it. Editing pending. I knew that February is going to be like mammothly busy. So I recorded a few videos ahead of time, which is how I have managed to stick to the schedule. But after February, who knows? And also, what should we do? Hold on. Let me catch up on the chat because I feel like I'm sure I've missed stuff. um, welcome, Johnny Smart. Yeah, I was talking about I need to make paint for you, basically, but I haven't made them yet. So my thought process is that I will send out the rest of the Happy Meal and then I'll probably send yours a little bit later so that I can wait for them to dry fully before I send them because I have the greens, but I haven't made the tea yet. I'll make it tonight or tomorrow. Oh, Rachel, am I thinking of Patreon? That's such a good question. So, I'm not thinking about Patreon because I'm not thinking about Patreon just because I wouldn't move my Ko-fi to Patreon. So I was thinking more, I think I asked her about Ko-fi, but Ko-fi and Patreon are similar. So my question was more so about art memberships. I just wanted to have her insights because there are some people that are um sorry, that's me getting a drink. There's some people that are really like smashing it and really doing well and obviously serving the art community. So I just wanted to know if she had any tips or advice on how to sustain a Ko-fi, but also how to have a Ko-fi, have a YouTube, and then have a job, full-time job outside that. So that's why I had asked her for insights, and she gave some good insights. It's just so funny because obviously everything that she advised, I'm already doing the wrong thing. Not the wrong thing, but as in like, I've already started my Ko-fi and I love my Ko-fi and it's going well. So I haven't got any complaints about that, but it was about trying to establish balance. So she was basically talking about, think long and hard before doing any physical rewards. And I guess almost saying like, don't do it if you can. But here I am doing watercolor dot cards, which I really enjoy. So I'm going to I don't want to keep muting it because I feel like the mic goes funny once I mute it. But yeah, so think long and hard before having physical tears. And obviously I have a physical tear. And then yeah, so it was interesting. It was still useful to like get her perspective, even if I am doing everything probably the wrong way. Then what should be here? Like I still want it to be very delicate, very soft. So I think I might just do let me not soak it with water. Like few trees. Does it make sense that they are blue? Or that it is blue. So yeah, that was the background and the thought process. And if anyone's interested in joining my art membership, I obviously highly recommend it. But through there, I share more exclusive videos like the book flip through that I was talking about. I also have a Discord server, which is where we can talk, well, as in chat. So it's almost like a WhatsApp, but it's full of my members, which is nice. And what else do we have? Oh, yeah, art challenges. The next one is going out tomorrow. And basically, that's what we focus on, or what I will be focusing on for a period of time. And I invite others to join me as well if they want. And yeah, I think it's going well. I think one of the things that I really want to continue focusing on is providing value and making sure that I am doing what I can to do that. And I'm very fortunate. I was joking the other day. It was like because we were chatting in there, and obviously anything that anything happens in the art community, we go and we chat in there. Anything, any sales, any art jokes, everything, we go and we chat in there. And I was like, I don't even know what I was doing and who I was sharing these things with before the Discord. Like, like I would have literally just had to have this conversation in my head with myself, giggled with myself, and then moved on. So there is something so nice about having a sense of community, which I really enjoy. So the Discord is one of the rewards that I offer, but obviously it's there are other things on there as well. As in there are other things that are offered through Ko-fi. So yeah, I have linked my Ko-fi down below in the description. If anyone's interested in becoming a member, please do. I won't be moving it to Patreon just because I think it would just be a faff, and I think I don't know. I think I prefer Ko-fi. The fees are lower. I have more flexibility. I understand it, so I don't really see a benefit in moving it over to Patreon. The main benefit that I see with Patreon is that people know exactly what it is. So when I say, if I were to say, oh, join my Patreon, people know and don't really need any further prompting. Whereas when I say join my Ko-fi, now it's getting a little bit more known. But initially, no one had any idea or it felt like no one really had any idea what I was talking about. So I would have to then start explaining everything. And I feel like sometimes I lose people in the explanation. Like I'm not the best at trying to explain what it actually is and what I'm actually doing on there. Though I try. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's funny because when I ask the questions before, people would say no, they want to see holes. More recently, people are like, you know what, we are done with holes. We've seen holes, we've seen it all. And to be honest, like I feel that way sometimes too. Like it's nice to see new art supplies, but then I almost feel like I have seen it all, and I'm more interested in like favorites videos uh or vlogs. But as yes, but also what I have found is that when it actually comes to what people are watching, um, it's not it's not the vlogs. So for example, one of the vlogs that I made that I was really quite proud of is the one where I think I'm in a cafe. Am I in a cafe? I think it's a cafe one, but not the last one, the one before, or maybe the one before that, where basically I put up the picture so that you can draw real time. So I'm drawing real time, you're drawing real time. We're both drawing real time with this reference photo and doing all these different exercises that I have been doing to warm up recently. So I really, really enjoyed that video. But I don't even know, I don't even think it's got over 1,000 views, which for a channel my size is quite low. And compared to other views, to give you an example, like the other haul view, when I do a haul video, it gets around 5 to 10,000 views. When I do vlog videos, they get like 600 views. So then I'm like, what people, the impression that I'm getting is not to. Yeah, maybe it is that it's non-subscriber base. Yeah, I like that as well. So, well, this is the thing. I don't know. I don't tend to do tutorials. I yeah, I don't know why. I just don't tend to do them. Uh, but also when I did do them in the past, they hardly got any views. I don't even think those ones breached 100 views. I'm like, okay, on to the next thing. I am so far behind, aren't I? I definitely am. Let me just dedicate 5 minutes to put the brush down and catch up on the comments. Whoa, knitted short. That is awesome. Aw. Thank you, Tori. And the Mighty Pencil, you finished a sketchbook. Honestly, your sketchbook game is inspirational. It's unreal. Mm, yeah, I know. Both are good. Both are really good. I mean, obviously we paint different things and do different things. My favorites are the B5 portraits every day, but that's just because I like the orientation. And then well, for price wise, for every day, it would be the everyday sketchbook. For like actually creme de la creme favorite, it's the signature. sketchbook, but I have been making my own sketchbooks recently. More on that soon. Ooh, and then okay, I missed all your hobbies, so let me catch up. Speed cubing. Yes, I knew. For a second, I thought you said speed clubbing. I was like, oh my gosh, what is that? What are the kids doing nowadays? And dance and Zumba and choreography. That is awesome. Oh, my bridge looks like it has a nice foggy background. What a happy accident. And to be honest, when I looked down, it didn't look like a bridge. It's when I looked at the camera, I was like, huh, what is that? Yes, it's a bridge. Loving book flip throughs. I have a sketchbook talk. I have so many videos coming, but a sketchbook tour of essentially the sketchbook that I used through 2020, but I didn't want to put such a negative connotation. So I just said it's a sketchbook that took me 4 years to finish, which is true. And wow, starting another one today. That is awesome. You just tried to Oh my gosh. Yeah, I am having that issue of lots of supplies with the Meaden set, with the Meaden drawers, just because in theory I think they're for pencils and other things, and I keep trying to stuff in my big chunky like 15 ml tubes, and they'll fit, but then they're not comfortable. So if you're using the 5 ml tubes, golden. If you're even using like half pans, no problems. But when you try to fit in the 15 ml tubes, then you have issues. And the answer would be to just stop, but I just keep going, committed to the cause. You used to crochet. Yeah, I then ended up actually when I started so after knitting, I then started doing crochet because crochet for me was faster than knitting. But I never with crochet is different. So with knitting I could follow patterns and I could make up my own patterns and I could make things up that way. With crochet, I couldn't read patterns. I just knew how to make things bigger or smaller. So then I would just make it myself, kind of just improvise the whole thing. And I couldn't do like laces and shawls and things, but what I could make is toys. So I would make like the body, the head, like I was making teddy bears basically. Mm. That is true. That's a good point. I would honestly have no idea, but I don't know. He's in the impressionist books, and I've been told he's an impressionist. Although, yeah, I honestly wouldn't know. Uh, but I assume, given your name, that you're into art history, pre-Raphaelite. Oh, thank you, Johnny Smar. Thank you. I'm so sorry. Like, yeah, it's just been hectic, and because it takes I don't mind. I love making them, but because it took me an hour, it's something that I kept being like, "Oh, I'll make it later. I'll make it later. I'll make it later." But I do need to make it soon. I've made my binder, so at least that bit is done. I just need to actually make the color. Oh, you watched the video depending on what is being painted. What kind of things do you like seeing, Love and Life? Uh, oh, I see. Like the like almost. I've seen you may like. Do you know like what's her name? Anna Bucciarelli. I've forgotten her surname, but Anna, she does some really nice botanical paintings, and she does them like step by step, and they're like hyper realistic. Thank you. Oh, Johnny's well. We all recommend the Kofi. It's the best part of my day, truly. Honestly, me too. Like if anything happens, or if I see any video, or if anything art related, or sometimes even if nothing has happened, like in my life, I'm like, well, something is happening in your life. And then I joined the Discord just to see what's going on. I'm so glad that you guys are enjoying it. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, did you hesitate? Did you? Yeah, that's the thing. I think quite a few people don't know what it's like. So I just say it's like Patreon, but it's called something different. And and then I talk about the benefits that I give. And Derwood, it's so funny because I remember when you joined, because I remember you from YouTube, as in way before you joined, and then you joined. And it's crazy. As everyone joins, the Ko-fi changes, but always in a better way. Like it just expands. Like I there are key points where I remember people joining and really like diving in feet first to the Discord and chatting. But then equally, sometimes people are like just watching in the background, and that's equally fine. And then they'll join the live streams or they'll join the Zoom sessions. Like there's just so many different ways that people can be involved. Here watching the time. I will finish before midnight. I hope. Yeah, it's literally like Patreon, but I think it's newer than, as in younger, newer than Patreon, and it has lower fees for the creators. And also they are very much still like in the evolving phase. So I don't know if you would notice some of the things, but like for example, they never used to do memberships before. It used to be like a tip jar. And I think it's only for the past 2 or 3 years, maybe 3 years or maybe longer, that they started doing memberships. So they keep upgrading what they're doing depending on what people need and want. Yeah, I've been craving the same. Like even if it's just like swatching or messing around, that there's just something so nice about seeing the supplies being used. Mm. Yeah, I agree. And I'm not gonna lie, like a lot of my initial art hauls were me literally just unboxing it. And even when I would use them, I don't think I'd give that much information because I didn't really feel qualified to give information. Now the way that I see it is I'll share what I know as I know it, and we just take it from there. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm not an expert. I didn't learn this. This is definitely just a passion project. Oh, you're more than welcome. I hope that you and your daughter have a lovely time, Rachel. Yeah, I struggle with tutorials. I struggle with tutorials of all kinds. I'm not even the type to read instructions really. So I like live streams because there's chatting going on, like I'm getting stimulated and whatnot as I'm watching everything. I like I do still like art halls, I can't even lie, but I love them when they then have the art supplies used. I love like favorites videos or art supplies being used, but not necessarily like reviews. Reviews are helpful if I'm looking for something in particular, but if not, then I find the favorites videos to be really insightful, especially the videos of like, this is how I used it. So one of the hauls that I did in December, that was why I delayed the creation of the video because I wanted to use every art supply before making the video. So it's like, well, this is technically a haul. However, I've used all these art supplies for a month and this is how I used them. And I don't know, I kind of like that setup a little bit more. It does mean though that then I don't know, it's a bit weird to record it because I'm not recording when I'm like unboxing and super excited at that time. Instead, I am recording it like ages later once I've used it. Hey Tori, a new lurker in the background. No way, you've been watching me since my Roman Schmalz watches, as in like the back in the day ones. Oh, what would I pick for a warm and cool primary limited palette? This is a good question. And if Derwood is in the chat, Derwood is also very good at making these kinds of suggestions because we did discuss this in one of the Ko-fi chats. I'm just bringing out my swatches to see, because there's what I use and what actually makes sense to use, if that makes sense. Oh, I don't have the red swatches, do I? No, I don't have red swatches as of yet. So I have these. I bring up purples. See, this is where my mind goes to, straight purple. So the yellows, this, and then for the rest, we have this. So, to be honest, the yellow that I have is anthraquinone yellow. Where is that? No, no. What is it called? Quinoptolone is this one. So I have quinoptolone yellow as my cool yellow, but looking at it next to everything else is actually not that cool. So the yellow that would make more sense perhaps would be, it depends. It would be either cadmium lemon, but if you don't want to use cadmiums, which I know some people don't, then Hansa Yellow Light would be your cool yellow. Your warm yellow, which is like your reddy, orangey leaning yellow, for me is quinacridone gold. Like I love quin gold, and that's like down here. So this is the Hansa Yellow Light, which is PY3. Then this is quinacridone gold, which is PY150 and PO48, but they also have quinacridone gold hue. So either one I think is fine. Then, which is like it's for me, it's like a warm yellow with a bit of spice, you know, like with a bit of character and personality. Blues wise, ultramarine would be one, and the other one would probably be a phthalo blue. So I guess it would make sense for it to be phthalo blue green shade, although that's not necessarily my favorite. I like the red shade, but yeah, so it would be phthalo blue green shade so that you can make some nice greens. And then I just feel like ultramarines are indispensable. I would either pick the French ultramarine or ultramarine intense. I don't really like the ultramarine light. To me, I find it to be a bit too dilute. And then reds wise, the red that I use is Cherry Quin Red. And that is my is this one here? It's my like pinky red. And then I don't have a warm red on my palette to show you because I don't really like oranges. But if I had to pick one, it would probably be Pyrrole Scarlet, which is semi-transparent, 8 out of 8, PR255, high staining, non-granulating. Yeah, those would be my choices. So I hope that was helpful. Quick random detour. But I think ultimately it's good to just start with any of those colors roughly. And then as you paint more, you'll get more and more comfortable, learn what you like more and more. And then from there, you'll be able to adjust accordingly. Yeah, I agree. My hobby is collecting art supplies. Me and you both. Like, I tell you now, I think I'm gonna have to convert my low buy to a no buy because I somehow, do you remember in my no buy video, and I'll link it down below if anyone is interested, I share like some tips and tricks as to how to actually do a no buy, and things to avoid, mistakes to avoid. And years on, that video is still, well, not years, it's been quite recent, but later on now it's still like super relevant for me because basically what I ended up doing with this low buy is I was like, okay, well, I'm not buying sketchbooks apart from the sketchbook that Terry got me, thank you so much, and I am not buying paints unless they are needed for the watercolor dot card tier. So I'm not, buying paints for myself. I'm buying paints that go in the theme or serve a particular purpose for it. And that was fine. But then I started making my own sketchbooks and my own watercolors, and that hobby exploded. So I started buying all these things like, pigment and everything else. And I'm like, oh, it's fine. I'm still sticking to my low buy because it's not art supplies, it's watercolor pigments that I'm then using to make watercolors. It doesn't make sense, but that's the justification that I gave myself. And now I'm like, you know what? It's actually out of hand. So I'm going to be even more mindful, and I'm not going to buy anything else to make sketchbooks until I finish making sketchbooks with everything that I have bought. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm kind of thinking about doing um doing another shop launch around March, playing with the idea of it. We'll see, because obviously February is busy and whatnot. But basically, I'm kind of playing with the idea of doing of basically selling my watercolors, as well as some of the sketchbooks that I've made, and cards that I've made. Just basically a shop launch. And it would coincide with my birthday celebration. And was it last year that we did the live stream with the live sale, with the like live stream and the sales? Was that last year? Because I really enjoyed that, although it's a lot of pressure making something online to then sell. But I really enjoyed it. So I don't know, I'm just thinking about, basically everything is going to, looks like it's going to line up. Like, we will hopefully, God willing, reach 10,000 subscribers, and then it will also be my birthday. So I was like, well, why not celebrate through all this limited edition paints, limited edition sketchbooks, limited edition paintings, cards, the full works. It's been a while since I've done like a proper shop. I used to have an Etsy shop, actually, back in the day. And then as YouTube started taking off and taking more time, I abandoned it and focused on YouTube instead. And I mean, this sale would be on my Ko-fi, it wouldn't be on Etsy. But basically, I started then getting carried away, where I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get this package in, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do that. But yeah, in the video, I talk about being careful about starting new hobbies and how that could end up being you displacing your spending from one thing to another. And that's definitely in part what has happened. So definitely going to be more mindful of that moving into February. And hopefully I will exercise some more self-control. And also, the other thing that I was meant to do in February is cut down on watching YouTube. And for me, it's not like, with YouTube is different to Instagram. So with Instagram, I genuinely felt like, you know what, I'm not really getting any benefit. I'm not seeing the art of the people that I follow. I'm just seeing random ads and random dances and the most random of things all the time. I'm not enjoying it, but I'm spending so much time on it because somehow I'm still getting some sort of dopamine hit from it. So that was why I was keen to separate myself from Instagram. And because I don't seem to do things in half measures, I was like, I'm going to have to do like a clean stop and then reintroduce it gradually. With YouTube, it's different. With YouTube, it's more so that I don't know, sometimes there's like this element of comparison that I think is the biggest issue that I have with YouTube. So it's not even like the time suck, and it's not even that I don't enjoy it. It's just that sometimes it's like I can't watch a video without thinking about my own YouTube. And basically, it makes it hard to switch off, because I'll be watching something. To give you an example, to explain, even though I guess no one's asked me, but why not? Why not share? Let me share, especially because I feel like if someone is new to, well, I think it probably applies to more than YouTube, but I also feel like if someone is new to YouTube and this is happening, and you almost think like you'll outgrow it, but you know, it's something that takes a little bit more effort. But basically, it's something like I could watch a video that I enjoy and then start thinking like, well, the lighting and the audio is better than mine, or you know, I'll see that someone has posted maybe like 2 or 3 times a week and be like, wow, they're posting 2 or 3 times a week, and I'm struggling to post once a week, and they're doing so much better, and I should try harder, and I need to do more. And it just basically means that it's not it's not switching off. So it's not that I don't think it's beneficial, and I definitely enjoyed it. The issue that I have is more so that I'm creating videos and thus drawing direct parallel comparisons to me, which makes no sense because they are not me and I am not them. Um, so that was why I wanted to take a step back from watching YouTube. But it's hard because I really enjoy it. But then also I feel like I am developing some sort of unhealthy habit. What's the word? It's not a habit, but you know what I mean. Relationship, unhealthy relationship with YouTube, where um yeah, and I don't know how to mitigate that other than not watching it as much. Uh, and again, it's also not about their art. It's not even like I watch their art and I'm like, oh my gosh, their art is so much better than mine. So it's not even art isn't the issue. So it's not even like if I watch a video that's not art related, I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine. Even with non-art related videos, I'm like, okay, well, the production value is better than mine, and this is better than mine. Like, it's really and truly. I know some people say, oh, we use this saying too much, but comparison really and truly is the thief of joy. And until I can learn how to stop comparing myself, I think it's best to just have a little bit of a break. And I think yeah, that's my perspective, and that's why it has to be all of YouTube as opposed to art YouTube. Now that my ramble is over, let me just double check. Oh, I know. Rest well, Ali. You were the opposite. Oh, thank you so much for joining, Colleen. And I'm so glad that you're excited, Johnny Smile. Like I will, yeah. It's just I have to make it and then pour it and then wait for it to dry and then pour it again and then wait for it to dry and then pour it again because it's gonna sink each time. Discord is my new Instagram. See, that's the thing, right? Discord is also my new Instagram, YouTube / social media. But the difference is that it's with people that I know that I like without ads, and I have the ability to share my art and see other people's art. That is what I love. There are no adverts. The people that I am engaging with are the people that I am choosing to engage with, and that is wonderful. Whereas on Instagram, I don't know. I don't even know who I'm following anymore. I don't see any of their posts. Oh, you also are. It's so good to have so many hobbies. So you like reading, horse riding. That is so awesome. I would love to go horse riding. I went once. I tried it once when I was like 12 and never again, but I would love to do it again as an adult. I think I'm too heavy for it though, so time will tell. But I'm like, surely there's a stallion that can take my weight. Like, where are they? Uh, I need to go back and watch that. Sorry, I haven't watched it in so long. Like, but that's the thing. Part of me is really curious to see what will happen, if anything, to my videos if I stop watching YouTube as a whole. I almost wonder, like, if I am no longer being influenced by YouTube, like, if obviously we get influenced by everything, right? So if I'm filtering out YouTube and I'm filtering out Instagram, I'm really just left to my own thoughts and other sources of entertainment. Will that lead to a change of style? Will that lead to difference in my art? Will that lead to a difference in me as a whole? Like, I'm really curious to know. Will that lead to like the pop-up commentaries coming back, or like even more bloopers? I don't know, but I am excited to find out. Mm. Yes, Purafla, I know your hobby and enjoying. And then Derwood, thank you so much for coming in there. Lemon yellow and Hansa yellow light, Nico Azo yellow as light as your cool yellows, and then Phalo blue turquoise, the new one. Oh, Phalo blue turquoise by Daniel Smith. Do you mean? Or does Roman Schmore have Phalo blue turquoise? No, they do have a phthalo blue turquoise. My bad. This one right here. That's really nice as well. So that's phthalo blue turquoise, that's phthalo blue green shade, and that is phthalo blue red shade. I'm currently in the process of it's like the video that's been coming for all time, but I am currently in the process of writing out all the swatches, like all the information for the swatches that I need to do for the Roman Schmall video. So I've written it all out in my Caddy Fat book. That bit is done. And then I've got these, I've cut up these bits of Fabriano Artistico watercolor paper, and I'm just writing all the information one by one, and then I'm going to do, oh, sorry, I burnt myself. Ow. I'm going to do swatches and record the process, but it can't be, I don't think it's going to, damn, my heater's really hot. Burnt me. I don't think it can be on a live stream because as much as you guys are being super patient, the quality of the live stream is never the same as just recording on a camera. So I'll record it on a camera so that it's a resource that people can come back to time and time again. But I am a third of the way with writing the names on the paper. Then for warm red, scarlet red, PR166, Pyro Scarlet or Pyro Vermilion. And yeah, cool red. Cool red. What did Durwood say? Cool red, raspberry red, quin pink. Yeah, fine. I agree. Yeah, you have to restrain yourself from starting something like it is wild, but I'm so excited at the same time. Like I'm making my own colors. I'm now swatching with like different things in mind, thinking about how can I make that color? What kind of colors would I want in my palette? I was thinking about like a 12 color palette. Like the ideas are just wild and and flowing. There's so much I want to do. Oh, the shade. I will indeed be providing the pigment numbers for those who are interested. Favorite mid red is PR254. Yeah, I need to add, to be fair, a red because I did miss it in this palette. Oh, what is it? What is it? Do we know what's on sale yet? I was trying to look. You know, the number of times, the way that I know what's on sale ahead of time is wild. Is literally just looking through all of Jackson's to see what items have started to get discounted and then guess that way. But for our friends in Asia, they get it ahead of time because you're in the future. You bought some cards from me. Do you mean like back in the day? The original cards or the paintings? That's so crazy. Thank you so much. Mm, no, I'm getting 100% from YouTube. I don't know what I am. Yeah, no, it used to be TV seasons, but because I've run out of TV shows, that's how I then started watching only YouTube. But then when I'm watching YouTube, I feel like I'm making a direct comparison to myself. So I need to stop. Mm, that's weird. Are they gonna have a week without a sale? Everyone's gonna be so confused. Thank you so much, Jessica. To be fair, at a point, I did have to actually remind myself that I had started to compare myself with people who this is their full-time job, and it is unrealistic for me to expect that we will have the same level of output when it's not my full-time job. It's like, do you know what I mean? Like, I just realized that everyone I was comparing myself to was actually on YouTube or creating art full-time. Um, so I had to just extend myself some grace. That being said, I feel that it would be nice to come back to YouTube with a fresh perspective and a fresh view by watching it less. Um, Yeah. And I don't know, like, I don't know if this would I don't think it would apply if I didn't have a YouTube channel. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I well, obviously, I think if it's a question between, going outside or spending time with loved ones versus watching YouTube, go outside, spend time with loved ones, have fun, take care of yourself. Definitely. Oh, these 2 are practically the same. What did I do? Um, the that to me is like clear, but when it comes to in general, I don't feel like YouTube is as bad as Instagram. Like, I don't even see the point of Instagram anymore. There are no adverts, but they are art deals. Oh, well, to be fair, you know that I think YouTube metadata do that. It transcribes the the content and the audio in the video to then figure out what the video is about. Let me add a fence here to just make it a bit different to whoopsie, a bit different to this other one right here because I feel like they look quite similar. Oh, thank you so much, Jess. That's very kind of you. Oh, thank you. From Etsy. Wow. Thank you. Yeah, this is literally like the OGs, the inception before was it? Yeah, Etsy. My Etsy store was before YouTube, and then like I had it for a bit at the time. So you have been following for years. Absolute years. That's amazing. Thank you so much. I feel like honestly, I'm so blown away by that. Nicole, that's a good question. Is YouTube and filming a stress reliever for me? Yeah. Yeah, it is. Uh, and I wish I could do it more. I think that's yeah, it's definitely a stress reliever. But again, I think in everything is with everything do it in balance, isn't it? So I think sometimes I overdo it where uh I'm not doing it in the healthiest of ways. But more times than not, it is definitely a stress reliever. It's a way for me to express myself. It's also like something to, for me to focus on outside of medicine because otherwise I don't know, I find it that, because there's so limited time a lot of times and, it's quite a demanding job. I found that I would just focus on medicine all the time, like medicine and home, medicine and home, medicine and home. But YouTube gave me something different. It gave me something else to focus on. And also with YouTube, there's a level of accountability. Like I know that in theory it is a a hobby, but I kind of feel like if I were to all of a sudden stop posting, people would notice. Like I don't know, I feel like I'd let people down, uh, in a sense. So there is a level of accountability, right? That I feel with YouTube, and I feel like that's one of the things that's helpful because it keeps me coming back and it keeps me doing it consistently. What should we add here to this little thing here? I think I wanted to make a tree pink, but I don't know if that would have actually made any sense. So we've got lakes, we've got this, just adding some more details here. And what should we add? It's gonna be curious to know which one's my favorite. I still feel like I want to add, so it's like, to me it looks like a snowy scene or a sky. So it's either it's a sky and I leave it as is, a sky amidst landscapes, or it's a landscape and I add a horizon with a few more features. I kind of feel tempted to add a few more features. So let's try. So I still want it to be like a snowy scene, but I'm gonna put a little hill here and have the lake be there. And then maybe like a little island there. And the beauty is then that we have these really nice colors still, but it is also a landscape. And really and truly, if you're doing this without chatting on a live stream and stopping to tell your life story every few minutes, then then there's no reason that it will take you long. Like, you can take as long or as short, as much or as little time as you like. And then with each one, learn something new, learn something that you like, something that you want to try again, something that you would want to do differently. And then you have a pretty page to also look back on. Like, does it make sense to have a pink tree? Absolutely not. But that is what we have, and that's what we're rolling with. And then once that dries, I can go back and do the trunk a bit better. Oh no, well, too late. Too late, Raphaelite. It's a pretty pink tree, I agree. Mm. We'll have her paint it again. Well, that's the thing. With art and with practicing, it will be completely unique. Let me dry this. Does anyone else have a YouTube channel? Is anyone else doing YouTube? If you don't mind, please hit the like button. Oh, Sonia, you have one. And the messy desk. Feel free to drop the URLs so that people can see it. I still have pink on my brush, don't I? Is this dry? No, it's not dry. Hold on. Because I got distracted and dried everything. And Patches and Pages, you are starting one in April. Oh, exciting times. Honestly, I do love YouTube. I think even for like the community alone, like the Ko-fi members, the YouTube community, the fact that we're able to do this where we are live streaming and we're chatting on the chat people across the world talking about art supplies and things that we love. It's unreal. Like it's definitely made my life better. I'm just trying this so that I can go back and do the tree trunk. I like it though. Can you see how much lighter it's got? Ah, my messy desk, you're sweet. I don't even yeah, we'll see. I think having a YouTube channel can be challenging, but I don't know, I think it's worth it. And also I don't have other hobbies or other things that I am doing. So outside of work right now, I'm just doing YouTube all the time. So that's what I mean in terms of like trying to get a bit of a better balance and like making more of an effort to spend more time with my family and, friends that I haven't seen in years. Like I was bad at meeting them before in general, like when I was working, when I was just doing medicine, but now actually horrendous. Uh, I think it would be easier for us to chat if they joined my live streams and things. Mm. Yeah, I think it's fine. If it's something that you enjoy doing, then I think it's definitely worth setting up and worth doing. And and then setting a schedule that works for you and setting expectations accordingly. So like for example, you know, Sandy Hester now does videos every 2 weeks, and she said that she does that. We know that, and thus, you know, we go and we know when to expect it. Whereas if your bio says you make videos every week and the last video was 3 weeks ago, people automatically assume like, okay, you've quit or something. So I think it's all about letting people know, and then you can set a schedule that works for you. So if you say, I'm making videos every month, then people will know that and subscribe accordingly because they know the channel hasn't been abandoned. And that's oh, hey Damien. I don't feel like we've chat before. If we have, forgive me. You like the filming and the creating the visuals, but I hate the editing. This is the thing for me as well. So my issue is twofold. So I technically actually, if everything is running smoothly, I enjoy the editing. I don't enjoy how long it takes, but I enjoy that I get to like, add things and blah blah blah. I do feel like I make it harder for myself than I need to, but it's like I can't, you know, let it go. Like I want it to look some sort of way. And it feels like, well, I've spent so long on it. How can I let it down at the last minute? Like I might as well just commit to what what I want it to look like. So that's my issue with editing, the time that it takes. Um, but then I also find my issue is I have all these ideas of things that I want to video and record and no time to actually get them done. Or then I do record them and like you said, don't have time to do the editing. And after a while, I'm like, okay, well, this video is now so old. Is there any point in actually doing the editing or should I just abandon the video? It depends. Like the Thailand vlog, which I haven't released yet, I have been working on for months now because there's so much footage, so much to and I really enjoy it. But then it's almost like, well, it's been so long now since I've been to Thailand. That is there a benefit? But I don't know. I've worked so hard on it that it seems sad to not post it. But editing is indeed a beast. And also, my laptop keeps freezing every time that I'm using it, so that I'm trying to edit, so it's difficult. But that's one of the reasons that I love live streams. No editing, like pros and cons. The mistakes will have to stay in and all of that. It's not going to be pre-planned. It's not going to be as clean cut. It's going to be a lot longer. But there's no editing and I get to chat with you real time. So I love it. I absolutely love it, even though um, the channel is always like, what are you doing? Why are you live streaming? I was looking at the stats and the stats weren't great in terms of like, yeah, but if I enjoy it and you enjoy it, there's 32 of you here, so it's worth it, no? Mm, definitely, you can do live streams. It's interesting though, because most people would be more scared of live streaming than editing, but I think whatever works for you, go with it. I really enjoy live streams, as you can probably tell. So in my head, I sometimes, yeah, like I bounce back and forth between I should do more live streams and I should do less live streams. I don't know which. So time will tell. Well, thank you so much for joining, Damien. What kind of art do you make? And do you have a YouTube channel as well? Because you were talking about editing. Or are you thinking about it? Yeah. Do you see, me and you both, lots of abandoned footage. No, well, that's the thing. And the thing is, it works. Like there is a place for everything, and it's interesting because the videos that I'll watch a lot of the time, like say for example, I really enjoy Lindsay the Frugal Crafter's videos, and obviously I don't know like about how much editing she does or the level of editing, but her level of editing I think is less than mine, but I enjoy her videos more, and I'm like I should just do less editing. Like why don't I just do less edit? And it's funny because I guess it's an element of perfectionism, but it's interesting because it's how I can be comfortable with live streaming despite all the spectacular mess ups, but yet feel too precious when I'm editing is interesting, no? Mm. Hey, Rhiannon. Let me catch up. The Mighty Pencil. What did you say? Yeah, you should definitely do it if you want to, right? I've heard you speak. You have a lovely voice. And you also don't you speak in your Instagram videos? Am I making that up? I feel like you do in some. Yeah, and do what you enjoy. I agree. I agree. I'm using these live streaming sessions almost as like a what do you call it? Like a therapy session, de-stressing sessions where we come, we chat, we paint, and then we go. Editing is entirely, but this is a thing. There are different levels of editing, and there are different types of videos, and you can do whatever level you are comfortable with or you prefer. So, say for example, Sarah Burns, she also has like different types of editing. So, some videos are like, I mean, some of her videos, I'm not gonna lie, are cinematic, like literally cinematic. She had me considering buying a drone. Where am I? Where am I going to fly a drone in to? I don't know. But I was like, wow, look at that. So, but that is a completely different feel to like say Lindsay the Frugal Crafter, and they both have very successful channels, So it's not by force that you edit, it's just unless what you want to I keep putting these dead trees everywhere. Unless what you are trying to portray and depict requires editing. So if like me, you can't let it go because you have a certain image or idea in your head of what you want it to look like, then yeah, fair enough. You're gonna have to learn the skill set. But If you are happy with a less edited look, but you feel like you should edit or you have to edit, then I'm here to tell you that you don't have to if you don't want to. I mean, Lindsay does like sat chat. There aren't that many videos I feel like that where it's literally, well, I guess apart from what I'm doing here, but where you're literally just chatting to someone, and yet, we love them and we watch them. Uh, then like Amal Fave will do like head down shots, or Jenna Rainey will do like more edited videos. So there's a space for everyone and a style for everyone. So I think start little by little, do what you are comfortable with and what you like, and then as time goes on, your skills will develop and your taste will develop in terms of knowing what exactly it is that you want to do in YouTube and get out of YouTube. And as that changes, you can, adjust accordingly. I really enjoyed doing the live streams where I was talking about YouTube as well, because I just felt like now there's more information, but when I started, I didn't really feel like there was, like, I had so many questions, and I don't know, it's not nice being confused, basically. So I was like, anything that I can do to spare people from enduring that is grand. Like, of late, I felt very, very confused, and it's really not a feeling I have enjoyed. Not in art, but just like, taxes and whatnot. And I was like, it's just actually nice having someone who can talk you through the process. So yeah, I've enjoyed doing that. I was thinking about doing more of it actually. But I don't know if I would then do that on a separate YouTube channel. And it seems like a lot of work to set up a second YouTube channel talking about how to create an art YouTube channel. So I don't know. Time will tell. Lots of ideas, as always. I am definitely a dreamer. Don't know if you can tell. Yeah, I like these landscapes. Does anyone have any questions about Kofi or anything like that? It's interesting. I feel like I talk about Kofi all the time. Forgive me if you agree, because you happen to be here with me all the time. You are an MVP. But I feel like I talk about it all the time. And then I did a poll to ask people, do you know about my Kofi? And it was like 70% said yes, 30% said no. And my polls, I assume, go to the people who are most engaged in my content. So I was like, how is it that a third of the people that are most engaged enough to see polls, don't know about it or hadn't even heard of it? And then I'm like, okay, well, after starting with that, um, first I have to tell you what it is, and then you can consider joining. Okay, go. Oh my gosh, the messy desk. You know what? I just realized where you are. You should definitely go to sleep. Like, it's so late. But thank you so much for joining. I wait. Oh my gosh. I was gonna say sleep or wake up, but yeah, I just realized 1 hour. Oh my gosh, rest. Yeah, no, I agree. Like, again, I enjoy both types of videos. The videos are completely different. There's a space for both of them. They're both beneficial. And whether you want to be on the drone side, or drone, sorry, not drone side, or whether you want to do like less edited videos, or whether you just want to do live streams. Like, for a while, I was like, maybe I'll just do a month of live streams. We just come, we chat, we leave. Uh, it's entirely up to you. I kind of want to do uh, a little something there, just to add a little bit more interest, because it feels so desolate and blue, and we have nothing but the dead tree to look at. So let's just add something in the far distance that maybe is a shape that makes sense. So again, I started with wet on wet, but now for all these details, primarily I'm doing wet on dry, and it just allows me to have crisper edges. And let's see. I'm just adding some shadows and doing some dry brush. And so that's fine. Making those edges a little bit blurry. I also, where's my white? Want to add, where's my, I asked these questions as if you'll know the answer, but I wanted to see. Oh, here it is. You know, I have the Simsat markers. Yeah, Sarah Burns comes from photography. She's really got an eye. Like, honestly, I looked up a drone, and I was like, okay, it's £400. Should I save up £400 for this drone? And thank God for my sister. She talked me out of it. She was like, you won't use it. You'll get confused. You'll stop using it. And then also I wanted it for when we were going to Thailand. And she was like, do you even know like the rules for flying it? Because I was like, you can just fly it where you want. And she's like, that is definitely not the case. So in the end, I didn't get the drone. And also I'm here complaining about how long editing takes me, and I'm considering like flying out a drone, you can see. But I felt so inspired, and I still do feel so inspired by her videos. Oh yeah. So I love watching Sandy Hester's videos as well. And if anything, you know how in part sometimes I feel like, oh, I want to do more vlogs. The vlogs that I have in mind of the type of vlogs that I'd want to do are the vlogs like the ones that Sandy does, where it literally just feels like you're there with her in the studio and she's chatting with you. I really enjoy those. I thought that they were in Edinburgh, not in London, her exhibition. Just using the Simtap brushes to do some dry brush strokes. Some are working, some are not, but it's okay. I'm doing more. So, because I want the dry brush to show, and then I think what I will do is go over some bits again with my watercolor. Do I have a favorite? Thank you so much, Pira, for like. No, I do feel like, oh, people are going to be so tired of hearing about Kofi, but yeah. Do I have a favorite budget? Bao Hong or Meaden are my favorite budget watercolor. The Jackson's Two Rivers, I used it ages ago, so I can't really remember. But my thing with it was that it's not cheap. If I remember correctly, it was more expensive than Saunders and Fabriano, and it wasn't better. So, in my opinion, as in it wasn't worse, but it wasn't like drastically better to account for the cost. But I'll see. I'll have to. I can look back and see. I'm definitely just overworking these paintings now. But let me show them to you closer soon. Yeah, I like both. Oh, I'm so glad you caught this live stream too, Sonia. I really enjoy live streams. I think especially, when watching them live. Oh, thank you so much for joining, Janine. Yeah, we've been live for 2 hours, but I've just been like randomly chatting. I don't even think we've had like any particular theme. Was there a theme? Was there a concrete theme? No. but I am using the Roman Schmall watercolors. So I'm just using my palette, and these are the colors that are in my video for my 2023 watercolor palette. I have since then got some more um I've got some more Daniel Smith colors, but also on top of that, I'm going to be swatching out all the Roman Schmall watercolors, and from there I am going to, I think, be picking a new set of colors. I don't know, we'll see. It just feels like a shame to have so many beautiful colors and not use them, just keep going back to the same ones over and over again. And if after using all these other watercolors, I am like, actually, I just love this set of 21 Roman Schmall watercolors and I have nothing else and I don't want anything else, fine. But I suspect that I will discover some new loves. So watch this space. Oh, do I still use the Lamy Safari? I do indeed. This bad boy is right here. So it is the fine nib. I always double check because when I bought it, I thought it was extra fine, but actually it's the fine nib. And I use carbon ink. Yeah, so it is, let me just clean that. I don't even think you can see it. But anyway, on the tip, believe me, it says fine nib, F Lamy. And the ink that I use is the carbon ink, which is this one. And I like it because it is waterproof. And I've had it for, I think, like 2 years now. And the Lamy is my go-to, like it's my go-to fountain pen. And I still have quite a bit of ink left. Initially, I thought it was running out, but actually, I just didn't know how to fill it up correctly. Like I wasn't tipping it, basically. But yeah, you tip it and then you fill up your pen. And in it, I have, so it doesn't come with a converter. I think, well, the one I bought didn't come with a converter. So I just went in on Amazon and also typed Lamy converter. And this is what it looks like. So the cartridge has like a red end to it, or Lamy Safari cartridge. And the benefit of this is that you can then fill it up with your own ink rather than using other inks. But I just wanted black watercolor that was waterproof. Let's do tape peel. Whoops. What did I put where? That's what we're going to have to figure out now. Oh, thank you so much for joining, Derwood, and for your help with the palette color choices. I hope your work meeting goes well. And to be honest, I think we are almost done. Oops. Oh, this is just continuing. Yeah, my Lamy converter is a little bit hit and miss, but I don't know. Because initially it didn't move down by itself. So every so often I have to push it down. And then all of a sudden it started moving down by itself and working correctly. And then it stopped again. But I can't lie, I do love my Lamy pen. I just like the fun that you can have with the quality of the lines, and also similar but different, like nib pens. I was having a lot of fun with those as well, now that I know that they're not just broken fountain pens. It's funny the things that you don't know and you take for granted, but really and truly, I have like a beautiful nib pen and I thought it was just a broken fountain pen. I was like, there's no place for me to put the ink cartridge. You are more than welcome. Enjoy your supper. Oh my goodness. I know Dark Roast is also equally as upset as Pre-Raphaelite, where essentially on a live stream, I was doing this peel. And I don't know how it happened, but I ended up like tearing the page. And it's almost like everyone felt it. Like after all that work, it didn't like tear across the page, but still it tore a little bit. So I'm always apprehensive doing them now. Just a bit slower, you know? Yeah, so do you want to see the... What was I doing here? Oh yeah. Let me take this off. What's the date today? 1st of February. Also, it occurred to me that a lot of you are in the US, and that's when I'm writing my dates. It doesn't necessarily make sense to you, but it's too late now. I don't know how to, where we go from here. So let me write or I'll just write it in full. So today's Thursday. So it's Thursday. Can you see that? No, you cannot. Let me not make you dizzy. Just stopping that for 1 second because I don't want you guys to get all dizzy and funny. And hopefully now you can see this. So it's Thursday, the 1st of February, 2024. Just to give you an idea as to like the nib size, and I think it's almost like a 0.1. So if I show you here, this is a 0.1 size. So if I write live stream, you can see the pen size. It's quite similar. Anyway, I hope that's helpful. And oh yeah, I should show you the paintings like this. I don't want to make you feel dizzy, so let me know if it's making you funny. So gonna raise this up gradually. So this is one of them, or maybe if I hold it like this, then I'm not blocking my light. So this is one of them, the pink. And then we have this one with the little fence. I really like the skies. And then we move up here and we have this one. And with this, I like the reflection in the lake. Thank you so much. And then here, this one was the accidental bridge that was meant to be something else. I like that too. And here, this is quite simple, but in this one, as in like, this is what I try to do, right? When I go through the artwork, I try to think about things that I like, which is why I'm saying I like this, I like this. I don't want to sound like a narcissist, but I'm just like thinking about the things that I think I did well that I would want to replicate. So with this one, it would be the dry brush. So I do think that there's room to add more detail and stuff, but I equally also just like how it is and don't want to add anything else. So I really like the dry brush from that one. Then here we have the mountains, and this I felt like I had to work for, and it changed. Initially, it had a hill here, but then I got rid of it somehow and then turned it into a set of mountains. And I like this. The things that I think I would change is the unintentional. This is what happens when you don't. Sorry, I'm not really showing you. This is what happens when you don't necessarily plan something and you let it happen without thinking about it, because the composition here is like symmetrical, like all the rules of composition I'm breaking. But that's what tends to happen. I think we like symmetry, even though it's not natural, like it doesn't happen in nature spontaneously, that there are always differences. But anyway, so without thinking about it, the horizon is right down the middle. And this is like a mirror image. I didn't mean to do it, but it's happened. So that would be maybe something that I would change in the future, so it's not so mirror-esque. That being said, I really like the colors here, and I even like the dry brush that we did with the acrylic markers, and then I went back over the dry brush with watercolor so that there's like difference in color. So I really like that. And I like the dry brush here as well, because I don't tend to use dry brush that much in watercolor. It's more so a gouache thing for me, but it's working nicely. Then here, I like this. It's nice and simple. This one was the one that was resembling, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, this one. And then I added the fence here because I was like, well, they look very, very, very similar to me, like different but similar. And then we have this one up here, which is simple. And last but not least, I added like a little bit of mountains or something to add just a little bit more interest so that we have something to look at other than the dead tree. And that is all of the 8 landscapes. Oh, you love the reflection. I am indeed. Hi, Dion. Yes, I am using the Caddy Fat book. Good. I'm glad. Thank you so much, Mary Louise. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Terry and Pre Raphaelite. You are all so, so kind. Did anyone do any painting or anything? I know that someone was swatching before. Oh, thank you. Yay. No, honestly, it's so nice. And I've really enjoyed the live stream too. If you have enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button, pretty please. If you would like more content, more access, an art community, art challenges, and more, then join my Ko-fi, which is linked in the description. As it stands, the Zoom session tier is full, but the other tier with everything else like the Discord, the exclusive videos, the art challenges, and the art resources, all of that is available in the MVP tier. It's just the Happy Mail tier that is full. And I can leave a waiting list. And if I'm able to expand it, I didn't want to like make it massive and then not be able to keep up or be stressed. So it's quite a select small group for now. And then once I get the hang of things, I'll be able to reassess whether it's something that I can continue or should not, or, or as in not continue, but whether it's something that I can continue to expand or whether it's something that I just need to leave at this current size. How often do I go live? Very good question, Dion. At the moment, it's honestly like completely random. It's like when I feel like it. So in January, did I go live in January? I think maybe I went live once in January, if not at all. But then in December, I went live 4 times. My aim, my hope, my intention will be to be going live a little bit more often. I just don't know if I will leave the replays up on YouTube moving forward. That's what I'm undecided about, because the alternative is that I do the live and everyone can join during the live, and then the replays go on Ko-fi, and then that won't confuse YouTube as to like with the algorithm and everything else. So that might be something I do. But what I will try to be doing more often than not is put a note on the community tab when I am going to go live. I also put a notification on Ko-fi when I am going live, and that usually comes on the day of, because they're basically quite spontaneous. And I keep trying to change to be a little bit more consistent and whatnot. And I think that with edited videos, that's something that's achievable. But with live streams, because it's literally so dependent on what I have going, what I'm doing, how I'm feeling that day, I don't know if I can guarantee. If I could, I would even. Oh, that's odd. My laptop has switched. If I could, I would even do like spontaneous Zooms. That's like, for me, obviously, I know that for Zooms, I can't make them completely spontaneous, which is why I set them out ahead of time. But if things could go completely my way, it'd be like, bam, we're going on Zoom in 2 hours. See you there. Oh, you did a paint along. That's so good, Terry. If you don't mind sharing, I'd love to see it. To see them, sorry. Oh, you've made good progress on the scarf. I am so glad, Mia. Maya, not Mia. Sorry, it's just I know someone who's called Mia, so that's why I keep saying it wrong, but same spelling. Yeah, I mean, I'm still impatient, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely been a learning process. And I feel like, especially because I tend to lean towards why did it change? To lean towards like watercolor florals, trying to do landscapes has been an interesting learning curve. Yeah, no, that's love all the variety. Thank you. Joining my Ko-fi. That's awesome. It would be lovely to have you there. As I say, there's plenty plenty of stuff going on. And I think we've been doing it for a year and a half now, which is wild. Wild. Also, what do you guys think we should do for the 10K? God willing, we hit 10K subscribers. And for the birthday celebration, what should we do? Last year, I think it's last year, Pre-Raphaelite, you might remember better because I feel like your memory is so good. But um last year I did a live stream, and then the art that I created during the live stream I also sold, and then also sold some originals. But the live stream itself I think was like 5 hours. Like, it was a really long live stream, which was just great. And it's basically like this: chatting, making art, you chatting with yourselves as well as with me. And that was wonderful. So I'm thinking I might do something like that again, and maybe sell originals again. I don't know. And then also, like I said, I'm thinking about my selling my watercolors and my sketchbooks. I haven't like obviously shared this anywhere else, but I feel like if you are into a 2.5 hour live stream, you are like the realest MVP there is. So you might as well get the behind the scenes as I kind of think about this and like work things out. But yeah, I've already started making them. I'm really enjoying them. So I'm thinking. But then also outside of that, if you have any suggestions for a celebration, I am up for it. A live stream and a sale. Or the alternative could be a Zoom. But then Zoom, hit and miss, right? Because yeah, we could do a Zoom. I don't know. Oh, so Terry, good idea. The sale and a Zoom. And Nicole, that's an interesting idea. I hadn't even thought of that. Doing a small giveaway for a group Zoom. Would that be something that people would be interested in? I feel like I'd feel bad and just invite everyone. I keep leaning towards being the type who just gives a trophy to everyone, you know? But I do like that idea. Or doing both. Let me show you. So we've looked through here. Then the live stream, the landscapes that I did before is this one. And it's funny because I was mixing colors here that I wanted to use in this. And then in the end, I just ended up using ultramarine and quin magenta for the whole thing. So I really enjoyed that. And then here, so you can see, like, I have been doing a few all from imagination, but I really do. Oh, this is this? Oh no, this is a video coming up soon. This is another video coming up soon. This is a Ko-fi video coming up soon in February. Ko-fi video coming up in February. Ko-fi / maybe YouTube video coming up in February. Oh, this I painted when I was not sure why it keeps doing that. But this I painted when I Oh, thank you so much, DK. Welcome to the club. Bet you didn't know it does that. Welcome. You will not regret it, I promise. Also, if what you're looking for and what you're enjoying is like being able to chat with others, I do recommend that you join the Discord as well. If you want the other benefits, then you can have access to that anyway. But if you want to chat with us, then join the Discord. I say that because it's technically 2 different platforms. So I don't know if everyone knows about the Discord. But thank you so much for joining. And then here. So yeah, I've been trying to do more. I don't know how or why I ended up in this what do you call it? landscape phase, but I'm enjoying it. I do think now that it's time for me to expand things a little bit. So I still have these pages empty, and that is because I think I've shown you guys. I don't if you just in case you weren't here in the last live stream, I have been making my own watercolors. And then in order to see how they work, I have been doing like really big, massive swatches. So this is green one. I haven't named them as of yet, but this is green one. It's made up of PB29, PY150, and PBR24. And as you can see, it like can get it's even darker in person than on the camera, but here it gets really dark in mass tone and then it gets lighter. It's interesting that on camera the yellow is picking up a little bit more. Um, yes, the Discord. So I hope I'm being clear. The Discord is a reward that comes as part of joining my Ko-fi. But in order to get into the Discord, you first join Ko-fi and then you connect the Discord to it. I hope that makes sense. So as part of the Ko-fi member, you can now access like our WhatsApp group, basically. Then this is purple. And don't know if the camera always goes funny with this one. I think it's the blues that are throwing it off, but it's almost like a mineral violet, only that the blues are darker, and it's made up of PB60, PB29, and thank you, DK. I'm glad it makes sense. PB60, PB29, and PR122. And then I made this. And I love this. I wish you could see how dark it was. Well, actually, it's closer. Yeah, it's closer. It's nice. So this, whoopsie, my mouse is falling. This one is blue. At some point, I will actually name these. Oh, also, if a name comes to mind, by all means, please let me know. But this blue is made up of PB60, so Xanthorin blue, ultramarine blue, and phthalo blue. So it's a mixture of all my favorite blues. And I wanted it to be able to get really nice and dark in mass tone, which it does, but then also have like this bright luminosity to it. So that's blue. And then this one, which is Johnny's Ma JMA's favorite one. This one is tea. And that's because I didn't know if it was a teal or a turquoise. But this is a like super smooth, non-granulating watercolor, and it is. So here's the thing, right? In when it's watered down and actually used as watercolor, it's semi-transparent. However, in mass tone, like here, it's opaque. So this is the same. Like I swatched both. I did a big thick swatch and then I did a light swatch, and this is like the color, like the range and the difference that you have. So then I was like, is this gouache? Like, have I made gouache and I didn't realize? But I don't know. So for now, this is tea, and this is what I have to make again for JMA. And then this is green 2. I made loads. There's greens 1 to 7, so just brace yourself now. So this green 2 was actually, this isn't correct. This green 2 was PB29, PY150, PBR24. Yes. And PB60. So it is green 1 plus PB60. And then green 3 is where we start going into all this exploration, because I started getting here, and this to me felt a bit too gray, too muddy. So then I added a bit more PBR24, and it's got a bit olivey, a bit better, but not quite the color that I wanted. And then I added some phthalo blue, as in PB15, the pigment, and that was kind of different, but not quite what I wanted. And basically, this is the experimentation that I have been taking back and forth. So this is green 2. This is the experimentation that then led to green 3, 4, and 5. So this is green 3. And do they look Similar. So you can see that green 2 is quite similar to green 3. It's just that green 3 is a little bit more olive leaning. Then this is the experimentation that led to green 4 and green 5, continuing from green 3. So I was building up on them. So green 4 is more granulating. And also, I should say that the green 4 that I sent, the G4, which is the green 4 that I sent on Ko-fi, wasn't actually this green 4. The green 4 that I sent on Ko-fi is actually green 7. This is green 4. I'm saying that for my own labeling. For you, it makes no difference. But so this is green 4, which granulates quite a lot, as you can see when I added lots of water. But then when I added less water, it came to this. So again, like you can tell I like my greens. Then this is green 5, which is similar, but a lot more, it's less olive. And I think that's because I added, what did I say? More indanthrone blue added to this one. And then this one is green 6, and this has more phthalo blue. So basically green 4, 5, and 6. And oh yeah, I swatched them out here. It's probably just easier to show you. So this is green 4, green 5, green 6, and then green 7. And it's green 7 that I sent out to Ko-fi members. And this I had to work for so hard to finally get to this color. And I think that's it for the colors that I've made thus far. This was like me trying to get to green 7 and like all the struggles. A summary of the struggles that I had to go through. So I basically left all these pages blank so that I can do big swatches of the other colors that I am creating. But that's pretty much part of the journey into creating my own watercolors. And apart from that, I feel like we're making really good progress. And shockingly, this sketchbook, God willing, will take less than a year to complete, which would be shocking given that it's so many pages. Also, you know how we keep saying they manufacture it as 48 pages, we keep saying it's 100 pages. I just realized, having counted it for my Roman Schmoll book, that it's not 50 pages, it's 200 pages. It's 100 sheets, 200 pages. Like it's so many. So I was like, because I was writing everything down and I was like, how do I have so many pages left when I've written so many colors down? And it's, yeah, I think I'm right. Like I'm pretty sure I'm right because I counted up to 50 pages and there was still so much more to go. Hey Jude, good morning. Where are you? 7:30. Just finished a late shift. No, really. I'm just still quite nocturnal, but it's almost midnight. It's 11:30, so I am going to be going soon. If you're in Western Australia, hence the time. This is green 7, hence the time difference. I guess when I do live streams in the middle of the night, it's good for Australia. Yeah, 100 sheets, 200 pages, but we kept saying 100 pages, and I thought it was 100 pages, and it's only when I'd written out so many, I was like, this doesn't make sense. I've written out 200 paints, and I still have so much of the sketchbook left, whereas it should have ended. And then I counted, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's 100 sheets, and they tell us it's 48. I don't know how they're working that out, but I'm glad for the value that we're getting. 200 pages for £13. It's crazy. Yeah, Jackson says 48 sheets, but also Caddy says 48 sheets. Cassart says 48 sheets. I don't know what they count as sheets really at this point, because I thought that maybe they were just excluding the 2 pages at the front and the back that for reasons unknown are, like I thought they were excluding these pages that I don't really know what they serve the purpose of. And getting pages with sheets confused, but this is just going to be so satisfying to finish. The later my time, the better. Yeah, then all the live streams I was doing in the middle of the night will be very well served. And who knows, maybe I'll try to do some live streams in the morning Wouldn't that be crazy? I'm not really a morning person. I don't know if you guys can tell. Um, I barely talk in the morning, really. Like, I feel like there's nothing to say in the morning. Yes, perhaps you're right, Miss Ebony. So it's the sheet count before folding them into signatures. So then is it 48 times 4? I don't know. I stopped counting after 200, after 50, and when I still had so much to go. But yeah, if you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button. If you would like to be a Ko-fi member, don't forget to join. And if you are still watching on the replay or on live once I end the live stream, let me know in two ways. One, you can say echo, or two, if you have an idea on what we should do to celebrate 10K slash my birthday slash a shop launch, let me know down below in the description, in the comments, because I've been brainstorming and I have lots of ideas and it would just be nice to narrow it down, you know? But with no further ado, and with much, much gratitude for you being here for this entire live stream, I will let you go. Yeah, thank you so much for. Oh, I was going to just use the mouse over my artwork, just complete and utter lack of respect. Yeah, 96 plus those 4. That is wild. So it is like what, 192 plus 4. But yeah, thank you all so much. My phone has given up again, reasons unknown, but at least it's doing all this wildness while I am ending the live stream. Random question, actually, before I go. Thank you so much for being here and everything. But just with regards to the connection and with the hearing me, with the seeing me, are you able to hear and see me now clearly? Because I'm using my phone as the internet source, and I was using my Wi-Fi at the beginning. My Wi-Fi contract is about to end, and they're going to charge me 250 extra if I continue it because I'll have to cancel it. So I'm just wondering if I'll be able to use my phone moving forward, which was an unintended, I guess, thing that happened because of all the technical. So okay, yes, it's working. It's perfect. Okay, so maybe I will be able to just use my phone moving forward and have no Wi-Fi. We shall see how it goes. Feels so weird to have no Wi-Fi. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you have a wonderful weekend and wonderful week, and I will talk to you later. Bye.